Question 2. Showing all your working, simplify the following expression. Okay, let's take it term by term. So 5 root 48. So I know we can just do this on the calculator, but let's think through it. So a square number that's a factor of 48, we could use 4. An even better choice would be 16. If you only spotted 4, you could write that as 5 root 4 root 12, which turns into a 5 times a 2 times a root 12, which turns into 10 root 12. But then we'd have to then break that down again and turn that into square root 4 square root 3. And again, the square root 4 turns into a 2. And we'll end up with 20 root 3. If you spotted that 16 was a better factor of 48, you could have said 5 square root 16 square root 3. Square root 16 is 4. And that will give you 20 root 3 a different way. The second term, you've got 2 plus 5 root 3 over 5 plus 3 root 3. So this is a term that has two separate terms on the denominator, one of which is a surd, or even if they're both surds. To get rid of that denominator with the surd in it, you've got to multiply by the same bracket, or the same denominator, but with the opposite sign. And if you times the bottom of a fraction by something, you have to times the top by the same thing. So we are going to times top and bottom by 5 minus 3 root 3. So then we've got to treat this as just timesing out two brackets. So nice and carefully we're going to multiply out. So 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times minus 3 root 3 is minus 6 root 3. 5 times 5 root 3 is 25 root 3. And then a plus 5 times a minus 3 is a minus 15 times a whole 3. Okay, we'll tidy that up in a second. On the bottom, timesing out, a 5 times a 5 is a 25. You get a minus 15 root 3 and you get a plus 15 root 3. So that's the whole point, is that that term will cancel out. And then you'll get a minus 3 times 3 makes a 9 times another whole 3. And 9 times 3 is 27. So let's cross out those terms on the bottom that have cancelled out and tidy up the top. That's a minus 45. So we've got 10 take away 45, which is going to give us negative 35. And then we've got a 25 root 3 take away a 6 root 3, which gives us a 19 root 3. Okay. All of that is over 25 take away 27 is minus 2. So let's just deal with the minus sign and basically say, if I times top and bottom by minus 1, that's going to turn that into a positive 2. It will turn that into a positive 35 and that into a negative 19 root 3. Okay, and again, you can check that the original surd on the calculator will just jump straight to the answer. The last term is 2 root 3 cubed. So 2 root 3 times 2 root 3 times 2 root 3. So that's a 2 cubed, so that's 2, 4, 8. And then we've got the root 3 times the root 3, which makes a whole 3, times another root 3. So that's 24 root 3. Okay, so let's put all this together. So the first term, 20 root 3. Add on this one, which was 35 minus 19 root 3 over 2. And then minus 24 root 3. Okay, so they're mostly root 3 terms. We've got one term that isn't. Okay, I don't want to multiply everything through by 2 because that's going to double the answer. Okay, only do that if you're going to remember to half at the very end, but you might not. So it's probably safer not to. And let's just split this up as 35 over 2 minus 19 halves of root 3, like that, minus 24 root 3. Just pick the calculator up and type in what we've got with the root 3's. Okay, I don't actually need to put the root 3 in because all of these 3 terms I'm pointing at, they're all root 3 terms. So I can just say 20 lots of it minus 19 halves of it minus 24 gives me negative 27 over 2 lots of root 3. So I've got 35 over 2, and then I've got minus 27 over 2 lots of root 3. And you can leave it there. You could take the 2 as a common denominator like that and write it like so, or you could bring it out at the front as a half at the front. Okay, it's a bit awkward, it doesn't have a nice answer, but you can check it on the calculator at the end.